I want to tell you a little bit about Mr. Hamilton. First of all, in exchange for me becoming chairman, I actually got an office in his law firm, and his campaign manager, Mr. Wilkinson, was telling me that he was moving my stuff out of my office, and I said, well, that just nullifies this whole agreement because I was supposed to get the office, and I'm not going to be kicked out of the office even if you're running a campaign to be on county council. But there was one thing that Joel said to me, which was similar to something that George Washington said to John Adams when I became chairman. You see, before John Adams became president, George Washington said to John Adams, "Tag, you're it." He didn't actually say that. Not Joel. George Washington totally said that. I'm very honored to be introducing Mr. Hamilton so we can talk to you about his campaign for county council. Mr. Hamilton.
Don't worry, Tyler. We'll make room for you over at the office, buddy. And thank you, Tyler, for all your leadership here with the party and for everything all of y'all do on behalf of conservative values. And before I talk about my campaign, I just want to say that, Judge Rogers, among her many desirable qualities is her modesty. As a lawyer that kind of sometimes stumbles into probate practice in several counties all over the state, I can tell you without hesitation that York County's probate court is by far one of the best well-run that I've found myself stumbling into. So thank you for just such wonderful customer service in that court, and as well as your just organization. And I can tell you, everyone in your office that we've had the pleasure of dealing with has just been spectacular. So, and you're right. I mean, people, it's always a bad situation, but anyway, it's very exciting to be in front of all of you to talk about something other than party business. I'm here to share the news that I am actually running for York County Council District 7. And I can tell you that it was somewhat a surprise when I found out that Chad Williams was not going to run. It kind of came out of the blue. If you had told me 3 or 4 weeks ago that I'd be standing up here talking to you all about this, I would have said you were crazy. It was definitely not. It was the furthest thing from my mind. But actually, the day I found out that Chad wasn't going to run, I ran back to my office to kind of look into the numbers to see if it's a seat that the party could pick up, because Chad's run as a Democrat for the last 10 years. While I was on my way back to the office, I got a call from Rock Hill Police Department telling me that there was an SUV sticking out of my building. That was a little bit of a surprise because we don't have a drive-through. Well, now we did before. Now we have a drive-through in our building, and it's right where my office was. So now I have quick access to everybody coming in to talk to me. But what that did, when the dust settled, I finally had a chance to discuss it with my wife and my family and my friends and some other folks that I sought the counsel and advice of. Lots of prayerful, thoughtful time speaking, or actually thinking about it. It certainly isn't a decision to be made lightly. We did decide that I could step up and run for the seat. It's been a very humbling process so far. And I can tell you that now's the time, I'm supposed to kind of talk about myself. I'm going to keep it very brief. As you all know, I've been involved with the York County Republican Party for a long time. I'm a very proud father of 2 little girls, and just about everyone here knows that because I've never wasted an opportunity to tell you about them. I'm also very proud of my wife, who's a prosecutor in York County. She works very hard prosecuting drug dealers and making sure our streets are safe, which she's doing the real hard work, so we're very proud of her. So that makes me a lawyer and now a politician, which sounds like the beginning of a walked into a bar joke, and I'm sure there's an awesome punchline there somewhere, but we'll come up with one later. But the one thing you may not know about me is that I grew up in Northeast Ohio, where I spent a lot of time working for my family's trucking business. I did everything from sweep warehouse steps to paint bathrooms and drive a forklift and pull weeds, did all the dirty work all the way to analyze large capital expenditures. And it was there where I really learned, the values of hard work and sound fiscal management. And also in Northeast Ohio, I saw the dangers of what liberal policy making can do to an area, how it can devastate a local economy and just devastate a local education system. So with all that in my background, there's no reason why I shouldn't have been a conservative. I mean, it's not a surprise at all. So obviously I became a very strong conservative coming from all of that. But here in York County, we're very blessed not to have that type of leadership. We have very strong conservative leadership, and the result has been a county that's in great position fiscally. We have a very safe community, thanks to our Sheriff Bryant's there in the background. Thank you, Sheriff Bryant, for all your hard work you've done for the community. Sheriff Tolson has carried that mantle on and done a great job. But we want to maintain that. You know, now we're a very attractive county for growth. I mean, we're one of the fastest growing counties in the nation. And we have an awesome opportunity to be a leader, not just in the state and the region, but really nationally. We need to be the antithesis of what we see in California. We're the conservative beacon. I mean, we're the leaders showing people what conservative leadership can do. And as we grow, we want to make sure that we're growing intelligently and that we're managing that growth and that we're not sacrificing those values that have made us great. We want to make sure that we're growing along our conservative values and making sure our community is safe. So that's what we're doing. That's why I'm running. And we do have opposition. Montreal Belton is filed as a Democrat. Now he's no slouch. I mean, it's going to be a tough campaign. As of tomorrow afternoon, I'll know for sure if there's a primary opponent. Right now, there doesn't appear to be, but we're running as if there isn't a primary opponent. I mean, we're going to run hard all the way to the finish line. I have no doubt that, you know, the DNC is going to throw money at my opponent's campaign because they feel that, you know, this is a targeted district for them, and if they can fund under-ticket campaigns, that's going to help Parnell. So they're going to be throwing money into the district, so it's going to take a lot to beat it. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. If y'all promise to help out and support us, but I'm very grateful for everything that all of y'all do for the party, and thank you, Tyler, for having me come speak tonight. And I'm taking a